Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
It's well, first of all, it's great to be a humanist, considering what I used to be. So it's good to be here, and thank you all so much for coming as we are taking this afternoon as part of Black History Month to focus on I'm going to share some information about Black free thought, Black free thinkers, and also we'll be talking about the Black church. So certainly appreciate you all being here to participate in this. We also want to, I'd like to take this time to thank you all for receiving me, as I have been a member here for a year and a half or so, and you all have been a source of strength from the standpoint of looking for people. As I was struggling in my transformation, it was difficult at first finding Black people that agree with this, but since I couldn't find Black people, I found some white people. So it worked out. But anyway, I am slowly finding more Black people, and so the movement is on. So guys, get ready. So what I'm going to do is talk a little bit about the Day of Solidarity. Then I'm going to focus in a little bit about Black History Month. I'm going to introduce you to a Black free thinker, and then I'm going to roll you into our guest speaker as he brings his presentation about the Black church. The Day of Solidarity, in its initial thought, was that we were going to provide a means in which what I was looking for is that I didn't put it in here. But the Day of Solidarity was actually an idea that I came up with last year. And this was around the 1st of February last year that I came up with the idea that as I'm thinking about Black History Month, and I'm trying to correlate Black History Month with Black free thinkers, I realized that there's not much focus on that. There's not much talk about it. There's a lot of information about Black free thinkers, Black people in our historical premise that most Black people are religious, but that's really not the truth. But the information in terms of the type of some of the people that were of the non-religious context, you don't hear that much about them nor what they stood for. So the information has to be shared. Our history has to be provided. So I'm going to bring a little bit about a Black free thinker today. But in regards to Black solidarity, that was part of the concept that I wanted to introduce. That is, we can take a day during Black History Month, focus in on Black free thinkers, but also create this an environment of fellowship. And I realize that there are a lot of Black atheists, Black agnostics that actually are in our midst, but we don't see them in the flesh. Most of them are on the internet, YouTubing, blogging, emailing, and sharing their views from that social media mechanism. And so the Day of Solidarity is to encourage them to take one day, come out of your room, get from behind those computers, and go meet another brother and sister in solidarity about your newfound thought concept.
Amen.
So now, it has taken some work because as I introduced it for the first time last year, we were actually able to have 3 events because this is a national Day of Solidarity all over the country that we're promoting. And so we had events here in Houston, one in Houston, one in DC, and one in LA. This year, I was able to form a committee with some individuals, and our goal was to try to have 20 events this year. And we are right there We are almost there. I think our last counted it was 18. So as of today, it's 18 cities that's going to have a celebration of Day of Solidarity. And so I don't know how many people are going to show up to those events. I really don't care how many people show up. The idea is that it only takes 2. So we were encouraging the idea that what you should do is if you know anybody in your location, go sit down and have coffee with them and talk about this. That's all you have to do. And so as we are promoting this, we also understand that it's important that you don't relegate it to just black people. So we are receptive and encouraging participation from everybody to join us in this, because it is a day of solidarity and we need to support it. So the Houston event is going to be at the Cafe Express uptown. That's Post Oak and 610 West. It starts at 2 o'clock. We're actually going to have a program, and we're going to be talking about some different things, but we're certainly going to have plenty of time for relationship, socializing, getting to know one another. So we plan to have a great time, and we certainly encourage you to come and support that. We have a Facebook page, Day of Solidarity for non-black, for black non-believers. And so you can go and check it out and see what's going on with that. But that's the background of where this came from. And we hope that this continues because obviously there are a lot of people that agree with me that think this is something important. And hopefully you will help us to promote this and participate with us. So that's the Day of Solidarity. Black History Month. Thank you all for coming to want to share this with us. Black History Month has been around a while. Started in, actually the concept about Black History Week, which was the first celebration, actually was started in 1915, and it became an official celebration in 1926. And one of the primary originators for Black History Week actually was Negro History Week. At that time was a historian by the name of Carter G. Woodson. Carter G. and actually a minister, prominent minister, historian, Jesse Moreland. They came up with Negro History Week through the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History. And this organization was dedicated to researching and promoting achievements by black Americans and other peoples of African descent. So from that, every week in February, once a year, well, the second week in February, once a year, it became this celebration of black history, Negro history. And I still kind of like that Negro word. I think I'm going to go back. Call me Negro. It has some significance. But anyway, so it was Negro History Week. And then as a result of the 50s civil rights movement, black awareness, and it became something real significant in our country, and then it moved to Black History Month. And actually that was put in place by President Ford, and this was in 1976, that it moved to a month-long celebration. So the Black History Month is very important in terms of us accepting the contributions of black Americans. I'm going to talk a little bit about Carter G. Woodson from the standpoint of we're trying to move into this free thought arena. And Carter G. Woodson was one of those individuals that apparently he had some issues with the black church. Now, in my reading and some of the studies I've done, there was a lot of people who had issues with religion and black church and the church from a black person standpoint. But there are not many of them that will make the statement and say, I'm an agnostic, I'm an atheist. So when you're reading the history, you just don't find that. But you'll find strong criticism. And that could be just a reflection of their attitude in the way they really felt and thought about it, but they just didn't label themselves to be that. And I surmise that the reason is because of the strong influence of religion in the black community. You don't want that stigma. You don't want that possibility of being ostracized from the community. So you don't address yourself as that. You don't label it. You don't give yourself that title. So Carter G. Woodson, this is one of my favorite books, The Miseducation of the Negro. He had a few things to say about the black church. He says, in schools of theology, Negroes are taught the interpretation of the Bible worked out by those who have justified segregation and winked at the economic debasement of the Negro, sometimes almost to the point of starvation. He also says, in the church, however, the Negro has had sufficient freedom to develop this institution in his own way, but he has failed to do so. His religion is merely a loan from the whites who have enslaved and segregated the Negroes. And the organization, though largely an independent Negro institution, is dominated by the thought of the oppressors of the race. The educated Negro minister is so trained as to drift away from the masses and the illiterate preachers into hands the people inevitably fall or unable to develop a doctrine and procedure of their own. The dominant thought is to make use of the dogmas of whites as means to an end. Whether the system is what it should be or not, it serves the purpose. And he's got quite a few other criticisms of the black church and black religion in this particular book. So maybe Carter was trying to tell us something about what he thought about it. We don't know. But he wrote some pretty powerful things about it. And when you read The Miseducation of the Negro, you get enlightened, which really helped me when I was making my transformation. Also, I want to share a little bit about another free thinker. His name is Hubert Harrison. Hubert Henry Harrison. Hubert Henry Harrison, born April 27, 1883 in St. Croix, Danish West Indies. Died in Harlem December 17, 1927 due to complication with appendicitis. He was only 44 years old. Reared as a Christian in the Protestant Episcopal Church. Moved to Harlem in 1900 when he was 17, where he then completed high school. Harlem at that time was called the center of radical black thought. So I guess that may have been part of his attraction to move all the way up there from St. Croix to New York. He was called the father of the Harlem radicalism. He was a great thinker, orator, writer, to the point where he was dubbed by his peers as the Black Socrates. He lost his job at the post office because he criticized Booker T. Washington. At that particular time, Booker T. Washington was the most prominent black man in America in regards to the relationship with white America. And there was a lot of criticism of Booker T and his philosophy. Hubert was self-educated, spoke or read 6 different languages. In 1901, he breaks from Christianity. And then he moved into free thought and humanism. And he gives major credit to this to Thomas